Hello, everyone. Welcome to APH Virtual Excel Camp. Today is the last day of Mystery Camp for 7 to 10-year-olds. We are so glad to have you with us today. Get in, get comfortable, get your Wheatley board ready. This is APH Virtual Excel Camp, Mystery Camp, last day, 7 to 10 years old. We had lots of people send in information. We're going to highlight some. One was day 4, travel to the tree. You had to give us directions and information on how to get your character from the mushroom to the tree from the map and grid that we were talking about yesterday. So Princess Eleanor's travel, they recorded the actual video of the small creature moving from the mushroom, going left and then up and then left again. Wait a minute, right and then up and then left 2 times to get over. Sydney sent her code in type form. She said, from today's story, code for how to get from the mushroom to the tree. R, F, R, F, or right, front, or right, forward, right, forward. There, see, I'm going to remember my coding. And then you had to create your own map from your own story. So Nargis shared a story earlier this week, and she created a map with Fargul and Finlad as 2 characters with beady eyes and jewels on top of their head. She used a straight line in one of the squares to represent the seashore, and then a square piece near the bottom to represent the deep side of the ocean, and then a square and a triangle to represent the house and coral reef. Kento set a whole list of coding, and he, on his grid, created a person, complete with arms and legs, a tree, which was a triangle and a stick, another individual or item, person moving around, which was a square and a dot. And then he used those L shapes or V shapes to create a square and used another L shape to create the roof of a house. And then 2 sticks with triangles as trees in one of those grids. Sydney did similar by giving us a grid board, but also a story on how to get from the code from how to get to the restaurant, then grocery store, and then salad bar, which was L, F, R, F, R, F, F, R, F, F. I think I'm sounding like a computer. And Princess Eleanor gave us one about her story with Jack's scooter. And Jack went to his grandmother's where he found his scooter. And then he went home. And now for your last day of camp, Kimmy and Laura, your instructors, are ready to take it over.
All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Miss Laura speaking. It is your final day of Mystery Camp, and we are so excited to finish out the week with you. Today I'm wearing a blue shirt, and my brown hair is down for once in my life. Miss Kimmy knows this. Miss Kimmy, why don't you reintroduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited, but a little bit sad. It's our last day. I am wearing a navy blue, might look black shirt today, and my short hair is down.
All right, Miss Laura, again, saying that the title of today's lesson is called The Investigators in the Game of Hidden Clues. We are going to be using our Wheatley board today to play some different board games that we came up with for you. So get excited to have some fun today for our last day of camp. Just to reiterate, we know we've gone over the rules every day. We're going to do it one more time, but you guys have done a fantastic job at following the rules this week. So just a reminder to stay muted unless we call on you. Raise that digital hand if you have a question, and make sure that you lower it after your question is answered. The chat will be open when we are asking for you to respond, so please make sure that you write when we ask so that way those using a screen reader can focus on what is being said. And lastly, we will pin Miss Kimmy's desktop when we are going to be looking at what, if you want to be able to follow along with what she's doing on the Wheatley board. Miss Kimmy, would you like to do our first top secret case?
Sure. Our first top secret case is Kiara's favorite animal. Our first clue, it lays eggs. That gives us a few options. Do we have any guesses so far? Remember to add them in the chat.
We're seeing a couple coming in. Ira said a hen. Princess Eleanor said chicken. We're getting a couple other bird comments.
All right, our second clue. It has feathers. So it lays eggs and it has feathers.
Awesome. We're seeing some, Sydney mentioned a duck. So more specific, right?
Yes.
A lot more chickens coming out on the chat. We got an eagle emoji. Interesting.
Ooh. All right, and our last clue, it eats seeds.
And
What
we see more
could
people
it
writing
be?
chicken. Ira mentioned a bird in the chat. Are you ready for the final reveal?
Let's see what it is.
Oh, I see crows, blue jays.
Ooh, specific. And it is birds. Kiara's favorite animal is a bird.
Awesome. We see a lot of people had types of birds. So I think that, pretty much counts. So air high five. Nice job. High five yourself. Nice. Yep. Nathan wrote that he likes birds as well. All right, Miss Laura speaking here for your top secret case number 2 and our final one of camp. This is Kento's favorite animal. The first clue is that this animal has claws. So there's a pretty, it's very specific, but there's a lot of animals out there that have claws. We're starting to see some people writing in the chat. What different animals have claws? Yep, I see Ranger wrote lion. Princess Eleanor wrote a cat. Sydney mentioned a raccoon. Let's see what clue number 2 is. Maybe that will narrow it down. Clue number 2. This animal has orange and black stripes. Starting to see a lot of comments coming in with, we have tigers and zebras being mentioned, maybe a wolf. And we have one final clue, that this animal can eat meat. This animal eats meat. So what has claws, orange and black stripes, and can eat meat? Many of you guessed it. It is a tiger. And there's a picture here of a big, ferocious tiger walking with their orange and black stripes. Jungle tiger, exactly. Thank you. All right. Very nice job, everyone. High five, air high five yourself. Nice job. And Miss Kimmy, go ahead and take this away.
All right. Great guessing on our mystery or top secret cases. Now we have a question for you to start us off. In your free time, would you rather do a puzzle or an activity by yourself or play a board game with friends? Type in the chat S if you'd rather do something by yourself or solo, or if you'd want to play a board game with friends, type F. So S for solo or yourself, or F for friends. If you would like to give us a verbal explanation, we will take 3 people. So raise your digital hand. if you'd like to give us your answer. I'm seeing a lot of F's in the chat. Sounds like most people would rather play with their friends. Some people are saying both.
Yeah. And remember this Miss Laura speaking, remember, these are those things where there is no right or wrong answer. This is just your preference. And so sometimes people like to play more by themselves, and sometimes people like to play more with other people. And sometimes there's a little bit of both. I liked that Leonardo wrote in the chat, both an S and an F. So it might just depend on the situation. We see quite a few people have their hands raised in the digital hand raise. So let's start with Layla. Layla, can you go ahead and explain to us what you chose and why?
I chose Friends because I like to play with my family with a board game.
Awesome. So friends or family, that's a good, you like playing with other people, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right, I'm seeing in the chat here, let's see. I have one further down. There we go. Let's go with Sydney. What do you prefer to do? Do something solo or with your friends?
I like to do it with my friends because otherwise doing it by yourself is a little boring.
Yeah.
I like to have some company when I'm playing.
Very good answer. Like to have some company. And I see Brianna.
Kimmy, I think Laura froze on us. Would you like to take it from here?
Sure. So we are getting a few comments in the chat, people agreeing that it would be more fun to play with friends, that it might be a little boring to play by yourself. And Princess Eleanor, would you like to give us your answer?
Okay. Hey, I like to play a game with friends because I like to try to compete against each other, or I like to interact with other people, and it sounds a bit not very much interacting when you're playing by yourself.
Yeah, that's a great point. When you are playing with other people, you have another level of competition, someone to kind of challenge you and try to win the game against. Yeah. All right, Miss Laura, are you back? You're muted.
I am back. Thank you. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I'm back. Now unmuted. Thank you for letting me know. All right. So you might ask, well, if we're just playing games, then are we going to learn anything? Yes, we are. We are actually going to learn how to play some of these games in kind of a strange manner because we're playing on a Wheatley board rather than with maybe an actual board game. And we will also be learning at least one game to play by ourselves or solo. And we will learn a game that we can play with others. The game that we will play with others is probably one that you might be familiar with. And so it will be fun to play along with us throughout today. So what is some of the vocabulary that we will need to know in order to play today? The first vocabulary word is row. Now, we went over this a little bit yesterday when we were talking about our rows and columns in our little 9-square board or our hashtag. A row is an arrangement of items that are organized horizontally. The other one is a column. A column is items that are arranged vertically. Now, those two words, horizontally and vertically, if I don't know what those mean, How do I move on? Well, don't worry, we'll explain them. Miss Kimmy, can you take those two?
Sure. So the word vertical means up and down. So it's kind of like a straight line standing up. And horizontal means side to side or left to right. So when you read left to right, you're reading in a horizontal line.
This is Miss Laura speaking. I also like to think of it as vertical is when I'm standing up and horizontal is when I'm taking a nap, when I'm sleeping or lying down.
Very good.
The last one on the list is diagonal. And that's kind of like an in-between between vertical and horizontal. It is when you are able to connect two corners that is not an edge. So if you have a square, you're connecting the opposite corners from each other, and that is a diagonal line.
Do we have a question from Emmanuel?
No.
Maybe not. Okay.
All right. This is go ahead, Emmanuel.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
What are we even doing? Because it doesn't seem like we're doing anything right now.
Well, we're about to jump into our first game.
Okay.
Awesome. So this will be a good time to turn on your cameras if you would like to join us that way. So as you've done all week, raise your digital hand if you would like to turn on your camera. Miss Leanne will move you to the right place. So while you are doing that, we'll explain how this first game is going to go. This is one that you might be more familiar with. This is Tic-Tac-Toe, which many of you may have played. And the way that we're going to do it over Zoom is we're going to do it in one big group. The way that we're going to do that is we are going to split into two teams. One team is going to be with Miss Kimmy, and those people are going to be the people whose first names begin with A all the way through M of the alphabet. So that means your first name starts with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, or L, M, and then stop there. So if your first name starts with an A through an M, you can write in the chat the letter K to make sure that you know you're on Team Kimmy. If your name starts with... Yes, Emmanuel, is that you speaking?
Oops, forgot to mute myself.
It's okay. Thank you. If your name starts with N through Z, then you will be on Team Laura. So that would be NOPQRSTUVWXY and Z. So please self-identify if you are on Team Kimmy with a K or Team Laura with an L. And that way we know what team everyone is on. Miss Kimmy, how is this going to work?
All right. So Miss Kimmy's team, we are going to have triangles as our symbol. Typically with tic-tac-toe, you draw an X or an O. But with the symbols we have in the Wheatley Kit, it'll be more simple to use one that's already made. So Miss Kimmy's team is going to be triangles. Miss Laura's team is going to be circles. So if you would like, you can put some triangles and circles on the top or bottom of your board, or maybe just get them out to the side so that they're easy for you to grab. Usually when you play tic-tac-toe, 2 people share one board, and you alternate taking turns putting your symbols or drawing them down. But since we're playing online, we'll need to place both teams' symbols. Okay, so you'll need to have triangles and circles ready.
This is Miss Laura speaking. So even though I'm on Team Laura, I need triangles too, is what you're saying?
That is correct.
All right. I'm gonna make sure I grab a few circles. And the circles, you can choose different ones as long as they are circular in shape. And same thing with the triangles. They don't all have to be exactly the same.
And I can see some of our friends that are sharing their cameras. They're putting their triangles and circles on the edge of their board so they're ready to go. Dash even put a K on the bottom of the board to show that he's Team Kimmy. I like that touch.
Awesome. Now, how is it that we're going to say where we're putting our tiles?
All right, so like we did yesterday, we will announce the rows by top, middle, and bottom. And the columns, which we said go up and down, by left, center, and right. So you'll say the row and the column together to identify your space. If I want to go in that first space on the top left, I would say Miss Kimmy places a triangle in the top left, and that would be me taking that space.
Miss Kimmy, this is Miss Laura speaking.
Yes.
We have a couple questions. Layla, I believe your hand is raised in the, sorry, do you have a question? Or are you wanting your screen turned on?
Oh, I want my screen turned on.
Gotcha, thank you. And then Nathan, I believe you wrote in the chat when our screen's going on. If you raise your digital hand, then we will make sure that you get switched over. All right, Clara, did you have a question?
Yeah.
I wanted my camera to be on, but you'll, and I'll show my board often.
Okay. All right. So if you don't know, the goal of tic-tac-toe is to get 3 in a row. And you can do that horizontally across your board from side to side. You can do that vertically up and down on your board from top to bottom. Or we can even do diagonally. So that means kind of at a slant. So the way that we're going to play is like Miss Kimmy said, we will place all of the symbols for both teams throughout the game. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can focus on Miss Kimmy's desktop so that if you lose a spot along the way, we can review it on there. So, Miss Kimmy, why don't you guys do the honors of going first?
All right. So Miss Kimmy's team gets to go first. Remember, we are triangles. And let's type in the chat, where should we place our first piece?
Excuse me?
Yes, Emmanuel.
sir.
I don't have triangles in the bag.
I would maybe check a different bag because your kit does come with different, I think 2 to 3 different types of triangles.
You could also make one out of small lines.
Okay.
Or if you have a different shape, so you could use squares as long as you remember that we're using squares and the other person is something else. Okay, just make sure we're using 2 different symbols.
Okay.
So let's type in the chat, Team Kimmy, Where should we place our piece? Remember to say the top, middle, or bottom row, and then left, center, or right. So Dash is saying middle. I'm assuming that is the middle center piece.
Looks like maybe Brianna said top left.
Top left. Okay, let's hear from a couple others. Nathan is saying middle. All right, I'm seeing lots of middle. So we are going to place our triangle in the middle center piece.
Awesome. It is Team Laura's turn now. So after you place that triangle in the middle center, Miss Laura's team is ready to go. So Team Laura, or circles, where should we place our first circle? That middle spot is taken, remember that. So we cannot place it in the same spot. We have to go someplace else. Where should we go? Nathan, is your hand raised for a question, or did you just forget to put it down? All right, thank you.
You are muted. I think Jillian's trying to ask a question.
Oh.
I'm seeing top right corner, middle right for you, Miss Laura. Top left.
All right, I have two people saying the right, so let's stay in that very right-hand side. It's just whether we're gonna go in the top or the middle at this point. All right. See a couple people saying top in the chat. So let's go ahead and Team Laura, well, everyone's going to put a circle in the top right-hand corner. Top right-hand corner. So now's where it gets interesting because both teams are on the board and we have to try to prevent the other team from getting 3 across. Miss Kimmy's turn.
All right, Team Kimmy, where can we place a triangle that will help us get 3 in a row, but also try to block Miss Laura's team? So if your speaker's not working, feel free to just type in the chat if you have a question or a comment. I'm seeing Team Kimmy, bottom right. Bottom, okay. So Ira said BC. Oh, bottom center.
Bottom center.
I'm like bottom corner? Which corner? Silly Kimmy. So bottom right, bottom center, middle right. Bottom center.
Looks like bottom center.
All right, let's go ahead and put our triangle in the bottom center. We will see how that plays out. I think that'll help us get 3 in a row, but it might not block very well. We will have to see.
All right, Miss Laura speaking. I think those of us who are on Team Laura, I think we either need to block them or they might be able to get it on the next turn. Can you guys tell me in the chat, where should we go in order to block Team Kimmy from getting 3 in a row? Where should we go in order to block them?
Don't do it.
I'm seeing quite a few people writing center top or top middle. Yeah, I think a lot of you are noticing they have 2 triangles in a row right now. They could get really close to 3, but I think we're gonna stop them. Let's take that circle and put it in the top center to block them off. Go Team Laura, nice job.
No! All right, Team Kimmy. we got blocked. I forgot to mark it on my board. I was too upset. We got blocked because we could have had 3 in a row, but Miss Laura's team took the top center space. So we can either try to take another space to make 3 in a row or block Miss Laura's team. I'm seeing some people say top left. I think that might be a good idea to block Miss Laura's team. You guys did it to us. So we're gonna do it back. We're gonna place our triangle in the top left.
I agree. Princess Eleanor wrote, don't block, and she's on my team, so I agree with her.
Well, I tried that and it didn't work, so.
All right, Miss Laura here. It looks like it is Team Laura's turn. We have to put a circle somewhere, and we can either try to block Miss Kimmy's team from getting 3 in a row, or we can try to get 3 in a row ourselves in another place. So write in the chat, where should we put our next circle? Remember, that top row is completely filled up now, so we won't have any more spaces in the top. We have 2 middle spaces on the left and right, and we have 2 bottom spaces on the left and right. Ooh, I'm seeing a lot of people saying block in the chat, that we should block by putting things in the bottom right-hand corner. I agree with you, Team Laura. Let's put our circles in the bottom right-hand corner, and we have successfully blocked Team Kimmy from getting 3 triangles in a row diagonally. What are you gonna do, Miss Kimmy? What are you gonna do?
So you went bottom right? Oh man, I didn't even see that as an option, and you just blocked me. So Team Kimmy, what should we do next? There might be an opening for them to get 3 in a row. Does anybody see where we should go to block them?
I see a couple of your teammates are saying middle or middle left.
Okay. Left, middle, left.
A few said middle right as well.
Okay, so some people are saying middle right.
It looks like your team agrees on middle. It's just a matter of left or right.
And I think some of them looks like Audrey meant to say right.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go ahead and place our triangle on the middle right.
Rats!
And we blocked ya.
Ah! Man, we could have gone for that 3 in a row on that right-hand side, friends. All right. So if they went to the middle right, there's only 2 blank spaces left. I wonder where we should go. I'm seeing a few people writing in the chat that we should maybe stay in the middle. That might be a good idea. There's only 1 spot left, and it's that left-hand spot.
Yeah, it looks like most of your friends are saying middle left.
It looks like they have 2 triangles in a row, so I think the best choice is to block them. All right, Team Laura, place that circle middle left.
No!
Yes! Block them.
Oh, man. All right.
There's only 1 more space, Miss Kimmy.
Yep. Team Kimmy, we're going to have to put a triangle. What space is left?
There's only 1 more space, friends. What is that one called? Go ahead and write it in the chat.
Here we go. Clara said bottom left. That's where we're going to have to go.
All right.
Wah, wah, wah. Princess Eleanor sort of said, no winners, the cat wins. It's called a cat game.
I've never heard that. That's new to me.
Really?
I've never heard that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you draw a big C over the board. I'm not really sure what it means, but or
Well, I
why.
learned something new. Thanks, friend.
Cat means that you didn't win, but the cat won, so you lost the game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome. That means it's kind of like a tie. So good job all around, everyone. Air high five or high five yourself. Nicely done. I think let's go ahead and try our other game so that way we have time to do both a friend game and a solo game. So can everyone go ahead and leave their hashtag on their board, but clear your triangles and your circles, please. If you'd like to just put them along the top, that's fine. Or if you'd like to put them back on the left-hand side, that is fine as well.
We will still need triangles and circles. And now we will need squares as well.
Oh, Miss Kimmy, I almost forgot. Time for a movement break.
Oh, good idea. We've been sitting for a bit.
Yeah. All right, let's spin the wheel. Let's see what we have. Spinning the wheel, it's going around and around and around. It's slowing down, and we ended up on... These are my class's favorite. These are called star jumps. And so what you're gonna do, they're kind of like jumping jacks. You're gonna stand up. You're gonna make sure you have some space. And you're going to jump upward, but when you jump, you need to spread your arms and your legs out like a star. And if you wanna be super silly, every time you jump, you say, I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star. So 10 star jumps, ready, set, go. I'm a star, 1. I'm a star, 2. I'm a star, 3. I'm a star, 4. I'm a star, 5. I'm a star, 6. I'm a star, 7. I'm a star, 8. I'm a star, 9. And one big loud one, I'm a star, 10. Great star jumps, everyone. Those are our favorite. Usually people down the hallway are wondering what we're doing.
So Miss Leanne typed in the chat that a cat cannot catch its own tail, just like a player in Tic-Tac-Toe cannot win a game that's already tied.
Got it.
Maybe that's where cat game came from.
Awesome. Well, I just learned something new. I love it. All right, Miss Kimmy, can you help explain to us what our next game is?
Sure, I'm a little out of breath from those star jumps.
Deep breath, everyone.
All right. So next we're going to play Shape Sudoku. And some of you might have heard of this game with numbers. Okay, but since we don't have numbers on our Wheatley board, we are going to do it with shapes. So to identify our black boxes a different way, so far we've been calling them top, middle, left, center. We're going to label our board a little differently. So each column, remember those are the up and down, we're going to label with A, B, and C, and we're going to make them in Braille. So we need our little dots on top of the left column. So, and you want to put it above since we're labeling. We're not putting anything in the boxes just yet. We're going to put one small fuzzy dot. One dot in Braille is the letter A. So it's going to go above that left column. Above the middle column, we're going to put two small dots to make the letter B in Braille. The letter B in Braille is two dots on top of each other. So the two dots will go vertically Very good. I see Kento has it. And the letter C in Braille is going to go above the right column. And a C in Braille is 2 dots next to each other. So we have 3 columns labeled A, B, and C. I am seeing on our camera, our friends are following along. They look good.
Perfect. And if you're not on camera, you can always write in the chat if you are done. Thank you. I see a couple of you are holding up your boards. All right. Well, if we're labeling the top with letters, I don't know if we can label the side with letters too. How are we going to label the side?
We're going to have to label the rows with numbers, but we don't have numbers, so we're going to represent them with the small fuzzy squares. Our first row is going to be number 1. So let's put 1 fuzzy square to the left of row 1. The top row, yep.
Yep, I see a lot of people on the video already putting their squares down.
So then the second row, that middle row, is going to have 2 squares, to name it row 2. And how many do you think we're going to put on the bottom? To the left of the bottom row.
Nice. I see Nathan put 1, 2, and 3. He's holding up his board on camera. Thank you.
Very good. Nathan, make sure that your circles or your dots are above your playing board so that they're not actually in the squares. Okay, we want to make sure all of our labels are outside of the squares. So above or to the left of our hashtag or our tic-tac-toe board.
All right, this is Miss Laura speaking. So the way that this game is going to be set up is we are going to need to put a few shapes inside some of these squares before we start. So once you have your A, B, and C across the top, and once you have your 1, 2, and 3 down the left-hand side, we are ready to place a few different shapes. The first shape that we're going to place is a triangle, and we are going to place that in the top left-hand square. But now that we have them labeled, another way to say it is we're going to put it in A1. In A1. So make sure that that triangle is in the top left or in A1. And actually, I'm gonna stop screen sharing so we can show Miss Kimmy's board.
Yes.
So, top left or A1. The next shape you're going to place is a circle. A circle is going to go in the middle right, which is now called C2. And the way that you get there is you go over A, B, C from left to right, and you go down 2 spaces. So C2. I see a lot of people are writing on the chat that they got it. Thank you. We will need another circle. This time it's going to go in the bottom left. That is also called A3. So let's place a circle in the bottom left, A3. And that final one. The final one is a square. So we didn't use a square earlier, but if you can find a square on your left-hand side, like that gold one, you can put that in the bottom center, or that is now called B3. So we'll review that very quickly. And if you need help, you can also follow along on Miss Kimmy's board. She'll point them out as we go. So there's a triangle in A1 or top left. There's a circle in A3 or bottom left. A square in B3, bottom center. And a circle in C2 or middle right. How do we play this game, Miss Kimmy?
All right, so for Sudoku, we need one of each shape across every row and every column. So we need one triangle, one circle, and one square in each row and column, but not diagonally. So like tic-tac-toe, we don't use diagonals in Sudoku.
Now this is Miss Laura speaking. Now we do have a hint for you. In order to start this game, one way to think about it is to look for any rows or any columns that only have one blank space. So can you write in the chat if you can tell if any of those rows or columns only have one blank space? Which row or which column has one blank space? And that will help us try to solve the puzzle. Seeing a couple people writing in the chat, either the bottom or the third row. Princess Ellen or Brianna wrote B3. So B3 would be that square right now. But if it's the bottom or third row, then that would make sense.
Oh, bottom, yeah. So the space that's blank, there you go, Brianna, C3.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
What shape needs to go there? If we need one of each shape across the bottom row, we already have a circle and a square in A3 and B3. What shape is going to go in C3?
We only have those three shapes to choose from.
I see Princess Eleanor already put hers on her board. Nathan is holding up a triangle. Ranger put a triangle on his board. Some friends in our chat are typing triangle. You guys are correct. We need to put a triangle in C3 so we complete that row.
Awesome, you guys completed your first row in Sudoku. So now, again, look for a row or a column that has only one blank space, and that will help you narrow down your options. So is there another row or column that has one blank space? You can either use A, B, or C to name the column, or 1, 2, or 3 to name the row.
And remember, you need a row and a column name to find the space where they meet. So C1, like Audrey says, is that top right square.
Nice.
Brianna, C and A. Oh, you're saying those columns have one blank. Good.
Yep, and Ranger mentioned the actual space, so A2 is a blank space. Thank you. He wrote that in the chat. So yeah, a lot of you were mentioning that row C and row A both, not row C, sorry, column A and column C both have a blank. Let's start with column C.
What space needs to go, or what shape needs to go in space C1? What shape is that column missing? Go ahead and type it in the chat, or fill it in on your board.
Or hold it up to the camera.
Yes, I'm seeing on our cameras and in the chat, square. I agree.
So we just put a square in C1. A square in C1. All right. Miss Laura speaking. I know a lot of us were mentioning that there was also a blank space in column A. So what would go in column A? What is missing in that first column? There's a middle space in A2.
Some of our friends are holding up their boards. I can see that they have put squares there. And in the chat, I agree, column A was missing a square. So we put a square in space A2, or the middle left space.
All right, thanks for holding up your board, Layla.
Let's see if you can finish the puzzle on your own. If you finish and want to type in the chat what shapes you put in the remaining spaces, or if you'd like to show us your board. So far we have 2 spaces left, I think.
We see Princess Eleanor. Thank you so much for showing yours. I'm not going to say where you put things just yet, so if those people who are still finishing want to have a chance, we can give them that opportunity. Thank you, Dash. I see you held up yours as well.
Rangers got his completed as well.
So if you are still stuck, that top row so far has a triangle in the left-hand space, a square in the right-hand space. So what shape would be missing in the middle space? And many of you got it on your boards. It was a circle. So a circle needs to go in B1. And that means there's only one space left. That middle space, the left has a square, the right has a circle. So all that's missing was that triangle. Nicely done, everyone. High five. Shh. Nice job. So you have just played a solo game, Sudoku, which can be played by yourself, and you got an opportunity to play a game with others. Miss Kimmy, I don't know time-wise, we can at least maybe go over it, but we might not have time to set it up. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen once more. If you wanna clear your Sudoku board, you may. So we had one other game that we were going to try and maybe set up with you. Looking at our time, I don't think we have time to fully set it up, but we will tell you how to set it up right now. But we're probably going to go through pretty quickly. So you have the same, this game is called Hidden Clues. If you've ever played the game Battleship, it's very similar to that. So you will use the same column and row labels as you did with Sudoku, that A, B, and C across the top, 1, 2, and 3 across the side. And the way that hidden objects or Battleship works is one person will hide 3 objects in different squares, and the other person will try to find them by guessing where they are. First, you will guess the column and then the row, like saying B2 for that center square. Now, Miss Kimmy was using different objects for hers. She made a magnifying glass out of a circle and a small line that she used for one of her objects. She used a jewel for another object, so you can be creative with it. The way that this game works is once a space is then selected, the person with the hidden objects is either going to say, "You found it," or "You found the magnifying glass or the key," or they're going to say, "All right, keep searching." And you can keep track of it by putting a diagonal line if you miss, or marking it with a hit with the appropriate object. So Miss Kimmy has shown on her board that if she missed a spot or she didn't get one of them, she put a diagonal orange line through it. If you do get it, then you know that there's a key, for instance, in C2. If you are totally lost, that's fine. We are sending these instructions along on the extension, and so you can try to play it with your family or friends at home. Miss Kimmy, go ahead and lead us through our closure.
All right. Today, we enjoyed some games that you could play by yourself, the Sudoku puzzle, or with your friends or family, like Tic-Tac-Toe and the hidden objects game we just showed you. Your extension activity is to try some of these games by yourself or with your friends or family. There is a link in the extension activity instructions for extra Sudoku puzzles, or you can just Google shape Sudoku. You can also extend your board. So we only have 3 squares across the top and 3 squares down, but you could add lines to make your board bigger and bigger.
If you add, this is Miss Laura speaking, if you add lines to it, it makes it more challenging because there are more spaces to choose from. So if you're like, you know, the 9 squares I could do pretty easily, we'll then bump it up to 16 squares by doing 4 by 4, and that gives you a lot of other spaces. You are free to go ahead and still email us what you did with your Wheatley board. So we know that this is our last day of camp and we won't be showing you what you guys did, but please feel free to email us. We would love to see what you have come up with. We would love to see the games that you have decided to play with your Wheatley kit. And so that is still available. Princess Eleanor, I see that your hand is raised. Did you have a question?
Can I share something?
Yes, go ahead.
This is my binary code necklace that we made at my house, and it's all my necklace is made out of zeros and ones. That's how a computer reads. And my necklace has my initials P, E, and R. And
that is so cool.
It's just like similar like yesterday.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, doing things with computers and coding. That is so cool. Thank you for sharing. All right. So Miss Kimmy and I have had a wonderful time with you this week. We wanted to review some of the things that we did. We were creative this week. We valued everyone's perspective. We made choices. We problem solved. And we had fun, or at least we did. I hope you guys did too.
I had so much fun. Princess Eleanor says she had fun this week too.
Awesome. So we hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your summer. We were so excited to do this with you. Keep playing with that Wheatley kit. We hope that you guys come up with some creative ways to use it. Miss Leanne and Miss Kimmy, did you have anything else?
Nope. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your summer, friends.
Thank you.
Well, all of our wonderful campers, if you will give a round of applause to Miss Kimmy and Miss Laura. Take your hands, clap your hands, and move them around in a circle shape. There is a round of applause. Nice job. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for hosting
Thank you.
summer camp.
Bye. Thank you. It was nice meeting you and having fun in class.
It was
was
lots
nice
of
to meet you.
fun. Be nice to have a class some other time soon.